more than ever. That shit is so sad.
Thank you for
That
the
hurt my
love
ears.
that you gave. It taught me how to never be afraid. I know that no love ever be the same. Welcome to I'm Not Supposed to Be Here. You got me singing. I'm one of your hosts, Christian, also known as Eclectic Sage. We also have...
He pointed at you. Hi, I'm Lucas Gustin, also known as Young Dean.
Yes. And I am Trent L. Dixon, hailing from Austin, Texas. And all together, we make I'm Not Supposed to Be Here.
That's so awesome.
That is.
I feel like, are we supposed to talk over that? Or does it fade in, fade out?
I'm fading it in and out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we could do. It's our show. We could do whatever the hell we want.
That is true.
That's true. Also, that was the most abrupt web button I've ever seen. I was dead not. I was singing in the mic.
Who did our intro theme again?
Shouts out to David Wayne Bennett.
Wow.
Didn't he do the
Wonderful
stickers
musician.
too?
No. That was Michael VG. Shout out to Michael.
Okay.
Shout out, Michael.
Yeah,
check out our episode. He was on the pod.
Yeah, he was on a few episodes ago.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was MIA.
Yeah. So where
Yeah, it was
you
a
been
whole
at? Where you
day.
been at?
Where have I been?
What has it been?
Actually, really right here. Like, actually, in the OG stew. Yeah.
She's still no Nula.
What where have y'all been?
Where have I been?
That
I've been at my job. Iceland.
whoa,
Comic-Con.
whoa,
All that good stuff.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't have anything like exciting. Like, oh, sorry, y'all. I was like halfway across the world or nothing. I've been here, tracing patterns, cutting, sewing,
I see
rinse and
some-
repeat.
I see some cuts over here. I
Oh,
saw when
yeah.
I walked in. I was like, "Oh, the Juki get it somewhere."
You already know, yeah. Been putting in work, but okay. So Trent has been in a very cool demeanor halfway across the world,
Yeah.
quite literally. Christian, where have you been?
Oh man, where haven't I been? That's what it feels like. I've been just bouncing around.
The boroughs.
Yeah, just every borough, like 4 boroughs, like every week.
4 boroughs a day.
The 4. No,
Which one
actually-
are you skipping?
Staten.
I mean, who doesn't
Sorry,
skip
I had
Staten?
to shoehorn that in there.
Oh man, but yeah, I don't have time to fit in the ferry. But
Fair.
yeah.
No pun intended.
Oh.
How often do you, as a native New Yorker, how often do you go to Staten Island?
Very rarely. I do have
Really?
family over there, but it's like
Damn.
just very inconvenient. The bridge is not fun to travel over, and then the ferry is not fun either.
Oh.
And then it's just like, what are you doing over there?
How much is the bridge again to get in and get out?
I don't even know. Probably like, I don't think they're gonna get on me, but probably like $8-9 now.
Damn.
I remember last time I went over like $6.50, but they raised it like a couple times.
Wow.
No shouts out to Easy Pass, but no shouts out to you guys.
So what's been bouncing you from borough to borough? Exempt Staten.
Yeah, so put together a whole gallery, so that was really cool.
Whoa.
So was able to do that.
Which was fun.
I'm gonna act like I wasn't there.
Yeah.
Tell us about it.
Tell us what happened. Tell us about that
Yeah,
process.
so it was a part of Project Apparitions. We did the gallery, came out really fire. Shout out to Samira, Gabrielle, all the people that modeled for us, all the people that showed off their art. So like Yvonne Navarro, check him out on Instagram. Bizarre
Great
Navarro.
dude.
It's fire. So awesome. Did some like Mexican surrealist art from home. Very personal pieces. They come from a play that his family does like regionally, so it's really cool.
Like an actual like theatrical play?
Yeah, so it's like a piece from a play
Wow.
that like his family used to do. So some of the shirts like had his like father in it, and it was just like kind of like a relationship with like his parents, from what I heard, because his dad, from what I was aware, used to wear a lot of Dickie shirts, so he'd like painted over Dickie shirts, and then he did some of the faces and mask over like wood pieces, and did like some of the faces and mask on his tote bag. And I was like, hang up your tote bag. He was like, oh, I just brought it just because I need to.
Yeah,
to carry stuff.
Wow.
And then I had my friend Megamod show off some art. He's a really awesome artist too. I think he's dropping a single soon, so check him out.
Okay. Yeah, friend of the pod, I think maybe the first, well, I guess Amalia was the first guest, but Jules. So whenever I was pulling up to the function, it was in Park Slope, so I'm not all too familiar, but got off the train, I'm walking there, and I'm like, I hit the cross streets, I'm like, wait, where is this motherfucker? So like I walk back, I'm like, wait, I guess I missed it. The numbers can be hard to hit on a building, so I walked back, and then I walked back to where it was again, and I'm like, there are a few people outside. I'm like, wait, is this it? And then I'll just never forget, like, I just locked eyes with Jules. Never met him before in person, and he just like gave me the warmest, most welcoming like hug, embrace. And then again, I was like kind of like, there was a little pregame action, and I'm like, wait, where is this? And then I just get like, I lock eyes with him. He like bear hugs me, vortexes me into the function, and then everybody was like, yo, and I'm like, wait, what? I was just like out in the dark, confused on where everybody was at. But anyway, shout out to Jules.
Yeah,
that is somebody that I know that I'll just have like an immediate connection with. Yeah, and it was just somebody that, like, immediately the first time I've ever met him, like, literally opens you with wide open arms, like, or welcomes you with wide open arms.
That's literally him with everybody, and it's funny because he listens to the podcast, so I know he's gonna be like, "These guys are talking about me." Oh.
I am. That one goes out to you,
Jules from the X.
Yeah, that made me feel very welcomed.
Go
and
listen
happy.
to his music if you haven't already.
Yeah, like, it's so funny, and he's he's hilarious. He was just like, "I recognize you from the sticker."
Shout out to VG or who is
Michael
it?
VG.
Michael VG with the sticks.
It's so funny because I saw
accurate.
multiple people like said that in the gallery. They're like, "Oh, you're in
From
like,
me?"
Yeah, they're like pieced it together.
Recognize the eyes.
They're like, I recognize that.
Wow.
Oh, same for Trent too. They're like, oh, like, they're like, I've only heard your voice.
That's so funny. Yeah, but it was cool. It was a really dope event. I got to see you perform in person. I've never really seen that before.
Yeah, like I haven't really performed with all my friends there, and it was cool because I had like family come by. I had my cousin come over.
Who was your family?
It was my they came earlier in the day, so nobody really saw them. It was just like, we just want to be present. So it was really cool.
Fire.
Shout out my cousin Richie. And
Shout out to the whole
Hey.
gang for stopping by.
Yeah, so it was really cool because it was like an assembly of all my friends, like in one spot. So it felt really warm.
Yeah.
And it felt like it's hard to touch that feeling often, but it felt like very homely and felt very warm. Shout out to the gallery owner Larissa for giving us the space to do that.
Yeah. Shout out Larissa. That is a good feeling. Whenever it's like, especially you pull friends from kind of different pockets of your life and bring them all together, and it's like one cohesive, seamless experience.
It was like
It's
it was
very-
kind of like a fashion piece. It was like, or like a tapestry, or like the idea of a tapestry. So I think they used to do tapestries, and it was like you do it for like however long, you stitch like for days on end, and it's supposed to be like this really large thing, but the memories that you stitch into it that you're like trying to depict are also the memories of like you sewing. So it was like, for me, it was like kind of stitching
Preach.
together the different tapestries of my life, and like trying to put them all in one room to like make everything make sense, and it did. So
I see. Yeah, that's that's really dope. How late were you there?
yeah, for real. It was also for like the fashion portion. Like the designs were so fire. The people that were modeling them were so fire. Like they killed the theme so awesome. It was supposed to be like a Junji Ito. So if anyone's like familiar with the manga, I know Samira, she put like the Junji Ito swirls on one of the dresses for Jazz, and that was like the coolest thing for me. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like so adept. And then Gabrielle had like the flowiness of like what it meant for like a phantom or something. And it was just like the way that you did the piping and the cuts that were like really cool and unique. And it was so good that like I saw it like in Lucas's eyes. He was like, "That's very interesting design." And I was like, it was cool to see that everybody like mutually appreciated the space and were like able to interact with different creatives. And then the performances were fire. Everyone put their heart out.
Yes,
Absolutely. Yeah, I just had a side note thought of just like how I remember how that caught my eye. This is like a bit of a quick turn here, but
Little tangent.
Yeah, just like it's funny because that just made me think of like whenever you see something that you're into and you start articulating it.
Yeah.
But I saw this I saw this comment recently. Actually, I'm not even going to go into it. I'm not going to try to explain it. But shout out to it's too much to explain with very little delivery. So I'll just gloss over that. But yeah, the details of the pieces that were made there were pretty immaculate for sure. Was that one girl that did like everything, or
it was two people. So it was it's my friend Samira and my friend Gabrielle. So
okay,
they were both like, I tapped them and they were like the most on point. They were like, all right, we got to get the fitting. We have to do this. And they're like for that portion, I was like, you guys got it. Like
don't they go to like FIT or something, or they study that or something like that? Or no?
I know Gabrielle graduated from like the high school and the college from my like memory. So like very, very talented. So
okay.
And I think Samira just does it recreationally, but like she did the puffer jacket for Jules in one night. I was just
damn.
like,
yeah, that's crazy.
the puffer jacket was like one of the coolest pieces. I was like, what? Because
time crunches.
Yeah, people walked out and they're like, what? Because it was the white do-rag, the white pants, and then it was a white like puffer, but it was a mix of like high fashion with like a little bit of like a lot of glitter, a lot of like cool little designs, and like a little like breathable portion. So that was really cool. And then they had me in something that was like really weird.
Do time crunches make or break the majority of their situations?
I think that depends on the artist and the situation.
So it depends on the person.
We'll zoom all the way out, and out of all the make and break, do most break or most make?
Most make, surprisingly.
I feel like most make.
I feel like most reach the occasion.
I think that's easy to say because we see all the ones that make. I think the ones that break we never hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's a wide spanning question, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyway, so apparitions, we saw and experienced the live happening. So when are we going to be able to hear it once and for all?
I'm not even sure yet. I'm trying to
Classic.
I know I did wanted to drop it that day, but like Jules was like, hey, like there's some sonic pieces missing and we have to add a little bit more life to it. It sounds good live, but for streaming and for just like listening, it has to like last the test of time. Like I don't want it to be something that's like, it sounds really good, but when I revisit every song, there's like some pieces missing. Yeah. I felt like that was some of the issue. So like, just like slight things. It's not even crazy. It's like a couple more ad libs and like vocal samples. Like that was why it's kind of singing "Might Need You" because I did like a little demo of what I would assume a vocal sample that we would put in would sound like, and it sounded pretty good. So I was like, okay, that's a nice one.
I see.
Yeah.
Well, we need it soon. We need all these I'm not supposed to be here heads. They can hit pause and hop on over to another Spotify channel, listen.
For
and
real,
come
but
back.
we have Reignition out.
Can we say maybe by December 2023?
It's gonna be out by then. I'm thinking before the end of November. So it's only 2 Fridays left in the end of November as far as recording. So either I know next Friday because shout out my friend King Vibe. He's dropping a project this Friday.
King Vibe.
This Friday, yeah. So he's doing. I'm actually a feature on that project too.
What's the name of the project?
It's his sophomore project. Let me look it up because I forgot the name. I think.
Go ahead and look that thing.
Yeah, I did forgot the name of the project, but I am on the first song, so he put me on the intro.
Side note, somebody, I don't remember who I was speaking to, but they complimented one of our voices. They couldn't identify which one.
Really?
But yeah, someone admires our voices. She
Was this at the event?
Yes, this was at the event. This was at the end because we were hanging out till close. I don't remember.
Personally, I think it's Trent.
I said I thought it was you.
Not me.
Sometimes
not
people
me.
say that your voices like blend together.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm like, how? I'm like, these sound so different. Literally,
Dude, that would actually that's actually never, as much as I consume podcasts and interviews, I've never came across that where it's like you can't differentiate somebody's voice. That'd
I
be
think they're just not paying
hilarious.
attention.
That was another review we got. We agree too much. Like we're
Supposed to be beefing.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't agree with that, Trent.
You know what, sir? Take it outside. Nah. But
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with it. But I mean, it wasn't like it ruins the podcast for me.
No, it
Kind
was
of
way
review.
too much.
But it was like, if I have to give any criticism, that's the one I'm
Okay,
giving.
it's fun to to have like a little bit of verbal sparring in there. You know,
spice it up.
Yeah,
I don't think
absolutely.
we'll ever get to that point.
No, we
Some
just
I
heated
mean, we do
debate.
disagree. I
Yes.
feel like, but it's never, nothing too crazy.
Yeah,
I agree.
I don't want to like
So-
flip tables towards Lucas or anything. Like, I don't know. Maybe we just get to that.
All right, so Project Apparitions on the way.
King vibe.
For
I'm gonna stay
all
with that.
listeners. You have my permission.
Yeah,
Sample away.
fires and outliers
So,
is freaking vibe.
Trent-
11, 17,
What's
23.
good, sir?
Was apparently in
I'm in the intro.
Iceland.
Oh yeah, I was.
How
I
was that?
I was out there. It was.
Iceland. This
It
is a
was-
minute ago, so
This was last month. Well, no, this was September.
bring it fresh to
It
your
is
memory.
now November. Man,
How did the green grass and gray sky smell?
it smelled fresh. Like it was so different than being in the city. It was just lovely. Like it just being there brought so much peace and such a, when you feel like you can breathe, just like that's what that was.
So I'm thinking so I guess anybody, I don't know if they could look at your IG or something and see what I saw, but maybe it was on your story. I don't know, or if you did any hard posts, but
Yeah,
from the
I
looks
get-
of it, and in my mind, it was like, all right, boom, you board the plane here, you fly to wherever. I don't know if that's across water or what, but you fly across, you land, and then like I'm envisioning like a small airport, and then you get onto a bus, and it's like a single pole kind of like in the middle of nowhere, and it like drops you off. And then it's just like, and thus it's like everything that you posted. But it's maybe in the distance. Yes.
hilarious.
There's more of a briefcase scenario actually, but
one light to light
but
the
maybe-
loneliness. I was like, what do I do now?
maybe like in the distance of like rolling hills, you see like a nice, cozy, well lit village.
I mean, I got there pretty late. It was like almost 12.
So how inaccurate was I?
Not very accurate. The airport was a nice size from what I
Okay.
can see.
Oh man, the one
There was
pole brought me.
there was no shuttle bus. I actually
Uber?
rented a car.
Oh, you were whipping?
Because I was whipping. I was
Yo,
whipping. Yeah, I was whipping.
stupid
while I was listening
American
to y'all's music
question.
out
Whipping the
there.
foreign in forward.
Yes.
Stupid American question,
We
but
drive
was the
on the
car
right side.
was it on the other side?
No, we drive. They drive on the right side too.
Hey,
Wait,
they have
but you
signs.
we drive on the left side.
No, we
here.
drive on the right.
No, we drive on the right. We drive on the right.
Well,
How
if
long
you're
has it been since
sitting
you've driven?
if you're sitting
Yeah,
in the
seat's
car.
in the left, but the car's on the right side.
I thought you were talking about the highways.
I get you.
Oh, wait. So which seat is, or which side is
It
the
was just
driver's
like
seat
driving
on?
here. It's the
Okay,
same thing.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
It's not too crazy.
Okay.
Even though it is in Europe, but no, it's very interesting because like as soon as you step out of the airport, you come into a grocery store. And the first thing you see on your left side is alcohol. Apparently, I mean everything there is expensive, because it's imported.
Yeah.
But yeah, alcohol right on the left side. I was like, oh, okay. I took a look around.
Time to drink. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
like get ready to start your trip.
Rev
Get
up those
sauced.
livers.
It was odd seeing like they had video games there too. It's odd seeing like video games and electronics like with no electronic security. Like you can just take it and walk away with it. That was wild. I was like, yo, Iceland, y'all trust a lot.
Hey.
But yeah, the crime rate there is really low. It's like 0.04%.
Oh,
or something
wow.
like that. Yeah, it's
Damn.
wild. The most they deal with out there is like traffic violations and shit.
No.
But yeah, no. I rented a car. Shouts out to the African behind the desk at Avis. He gave me some good tips.
Sick.
He
Like
was
what?
Like, hey, well, I was trying to rent a GPS, but he was like, just use your phone. It's gonna be it's going to be much faster than GPS because I wanted to, get around. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't want to hold my phone the whole time, but it actually worked out. Except for that one time my phone bricked on me. Like it completely died. It was fully charged, but luckily I carry 2 phones, so all I had to do was like put the SIM card in one. So I had a backup phone.
Two-tone.
Yeah, two-phone trend.
Two-phone trend.
But yeah, so where I stayed at was the close to the southern region of Iceland. So I stayed in the middle of nowhere. So my drive from the airport, because there's the airport is right near Reykjavik, which is like the main city, and that's like all the touristy shit. Like that's like heavily populated.
Applebee's and
all that good
fun
stuff. But they have some
Okay.
interesting architecture. But I was in the middle of nowhere. My drive was like an hour. It was like 73 minutes, something like that from the airport. Yeah, it was a nice little drive.
That's good, yeah.
But, I connected my phone to Bluetooth and I was rolling. Like, it was really, it almost felt like being in Texas, like when you're driving, when you look to your left and right, there's nothing but blackness. But you see the silhouette of these gigantic mountains. And it's like, wow.
That's what I was
that looks
envisioning.
like in the light. But yeah, no, and I got to the hotel and it was closed.
What kind of car you got?
What the hell did I get? It was a small car. Luckily, I didn't go smaller because people have issues with the car being blown off the road because the wind is so strong. So
Wow.
Holy shit.
yeah. But I mean,
Blown
like
off
it
the road
was
is
really
insane.
cheap. It was like $20-something a day
Wow,
to rent a car
that's
out there.
great.
Yeah,
why
that's
I was
really
like,
solid.
Yeah, I'm renting a car.
I'm about to move to Iceland.
Right. I mean, they've got like a bunch of earthquakes and shit going on. I think there was a volcano about to explode. Like it's crazy. But
Sounds peaceful than here. I'm not even
No,
gonna,
it is.
I'm not even gonna lie. It
So
sounds
I was telling Chris about it. He was like, "Yo, sound like you trying to move out there." I was like, "Yo, let's move. I'm not supposed to be here to Iceland."
maybe honestly the headquarters.
The
Yes,
headquarters.
the main
I'm sure we
headquarters.
get some tax breaks or something, right?
Yeah, probably.
Stash and everything over there.
Yeah. Got
But
that mattress
so-
money in Iceland.
So yeah,
That's
well, I mean,
nice.
what was it? Was it just like wilderness exploration?
I mean,
or?
for the most part, yeah. I went on 2 tours. I played hooky on one tour. On my birthday, I was like, I don't really want to be on a bus for 8 hours.
Yeah,
So
no way.
I was like, so I stayed in. I slept late, got breakfast, and
Nice.
on that one. But no, yeah, I spent a lot of time exploring the
environment.
nature. Yeah, I didn't get to see the geysers, but I visited a bunch of waterfalls and
Whoa.
I went to the Black Sands beach, which apparently isn't sand, it's ash.
Wow.
Apparently. But it was really nice. You know when you see on the cartoons like goats sitting on the side of a mountain? I saw
Yeah.
that shit. I was like, I didn't think they did that, but they do.
That's so fire.
It's
Here they are.
crazy. Yes. What else? A lot of rain. It was cold. But
Does it ever get warm there?
it does. It
Okay.
does. It has its warm days, but mostly cold.
How'd you feel about bringing your camera? Because I just love the cinematography of it. It was so inspiring that I just screenshotted them and just like edited them just for myself.
Copyright.
I did most of that through my phone, but my camera is weather sealed, so I wasn't really too worried about it.
Whoa.
Now, when I didn't go under the waterfall, which was like being in a rainstorm, but yeah, I wasn't too worried about it.
Yeah.
You know,
It felt like so natural. It felt like you were at peace. Like just kind of I'll throw this like camera here. Like I'll do something interesting, but it wasn't like I'm gonna stop at whatever I'm doing just to do that. It was just like
the camera
it was just
came
like,
out. You know, yeah.
It was just like I genuinely want to take and frame this moment, but like I have so many moments that are unframed that like I care about just as much, and it was just like. I was just like, that's so far. Like, I was like, I don't know. I felt like I needed to see that because I was just like, you can have those moments where you don't have to break the fun just to take a picture. It was just like, no, I made space for it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. A lot of it exists in my head. Yo, and shouts out to the Irish guy on the side of the road that I talked to, the Irish bus driver.
He sounds interesting.
Who let me know that it was I was playing a linear game, but it
What
was
is that?
It's I was on one path.
Our studio manager's out of here.
She hasn't fired us yet, so we're good. No, and I was playing a linear game, and it was an open world game.
What is
Because I
linear?
was like, can I go here? Like, it was just open. I was worried about like trespassing and stuff. And he looked at me. He was like, I I can't do a proper Irish accent, so I won't.
Try it.
I won't.
Try it.
No, because it's the internet. It's gonna lift.
What
everybody.
about
about
exploration?
But no, he was like, "Yo, you can go wherever you want. Just don't park anywhere that's not safe." And I was like, "Oh," and I just
And
went
it's just, like, mind expanding.
everywhere.
How about
Yeah.
how about you can go wherever you want in Irish?
Aye, laddie, you can go wherever you want.
That was fun.
I love that. It did not sound that unnatural. He was cool, though. He was cool. So I saw a sulfur field.
Whoa.
The graffiti out there is crazy too. Like they had like a lot of these buildings just in the middle of nowhere, and there was just like graffiti on them, of course. But you know,
How do you feel about graffiti? Do you feel like it enhances an environment or pollutes it?
I've actually, I've pondered that before, and I think, or just in terms of if New York City would look, well, you know, given that's where we're at, if it would look any better or worse if there were no graffiti. Honestly, I think it might be a little bit more charming with no graffiti.
Really?
I'll go out there and say that.
I feel like it's a mix.
I feel like it would
Here comes
look
the
more.
disagreeing.
It would look more probably like some old Icelandic village, right? I mean, we have old buildings.
Probably.
It's more or less of the same kind of natural color tone, bricks. You know, more kind of like beigeish colors. Yeah, I would have to say, or maybe it'd just be worth seeing. Maybe I'm thinking it'd be more interesting because I've never seen it like that before.
Yeah, I feel like I'm mixed because I had a cousin that does murals, so a lot of murals I see like on Lower East Side.
That's not graffiti though, is it?
Well, it's a mix. So he started doing graffiti, and then it like evolved into murals. And so like we have murals that like ornament the city like crazy. Then we have like graffiti, and I feel like the graffiti like mixes with it too. The graffiti mixes with it and like adds the whole tapestry. And then I feel like there used to be a thing in Queens, and it was like a whole mecca for like all types of graffiti artists. And I feel like when it's given that type of space to like evolve and kind of like exist, and people tag up, people do murals, people do that, it like adds a lot. But sometimes I wish that some graffiti artists were more creative with certain things. And then also sometimes I'm just like, I kind of miss the days when graffiti was like more radical in what it was saying.
Back in the
like
70s?
Yeah, like back in the 70s. Like sometimes like I walk like over like by Canal Street, and I'm like, I agree with most of the stuff that's graffitied. So it's not really like if I agree with the graffiti, it's not really thought provoking. I feel like if you're already gonna write on a wall, do something that's thought provoking. Like Basquiat did the same-o, and that was like, whoa, that's a statement. I
saw a Samo tag. Did I show that to y'all? But I'm like, there's no way this is real. But it says like Samo, and then it has like a little phrase by it.
Yeah, like those
But
types
I'm
of
like,
things.
there's no way that's real.
Maybe he has like some things that are really cool.
Dude, somebody would like cut out that piece of a building,
Carve it
right?
out the side of the building.
I mean, yeah, if his pieces go for over $100 million,
people
like,
have done that
yeah.
to Banksy's work.
I've seen that.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
Have you seen how he does like little like shitty sidewalk setups out here?
Yeah.
And then it's like get Banksy for $1, and people are like, why would I want this Banksy ripoff? But then it's literally his work.
Yeah.
Have you seen? You've seen
I've
that?
seen that.
And like I see them like I've probably seen 2 or 3 in the last month, and I'm like, is that real? I don't know.
It's hard to tell, but also that just speaks to like the greater like thing of art, and I feel like I've been pondering that a lot lately, especially with the gallery.
Specifically?
More so the value of art in a given space, because if you put it in a gallery, because I was looking through social media, some like random page was like, oh, I heard this old parable from my parent, but like it was probably from a book or something, but they just put it on the thing. But it was like the father he gives him an old watch that's like broken, and he's like, bring it to the pawn shop, and the pawn shop's like, we'll sell it to you for like $10. Then he's like, okay, come back to me afterwards. And then he's like, okay, now go to the store in which I bought it. And he's like, okay, like we can't repair this, like we're not gonna accept it, like it's gonna be like $1, or like we don't want to accept it. Then he was like, take it to the museum. And then the museum was like, we're gonna frame this, we're gonna put it for like 100 million in the museum, and we would love to have it a part of our collection. And then the father goes to the kid and he's like, yeah, look, he's like, show your art and give it spaces where it's truly valued. Because the value is only as good as the environment that you display it in.
I've heard the same thing, but just it was a bottle of water was used as the example. It's like a bottle of water costs this here and costs that there, blah blah blah.
Yeah. Same type of story, but I've been thinking about that, especially in relation to Basquiat, because I was walking by Christie's the other day, and they were doing like an auction, and I was just like, it's insane that like during his lifetime, like none of this work would have sold for this much. Yeah. And given that he like passed away, and now there's like a lore attached to his life, the value of his work is like insane.
His work is at Christie's?
Yeah, I think some of his work is over there. His work is like spread out between different places, I think, and then you have like copies and pickoffs, but he inspired a lot of people.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
Yeah, but also has been just feeling like a general lull in terms of like new art forms. So it was really interesting to kind of like look at that and see like the progression of an artist, and we spoke about it before, but like how an artist deceased.
I just watched his movie he was in. I think I had loosely heard of it. Not the movie where somebody played him.
Oh, the one where
and David Bowie played Andy Warhol, which is fucking nuts. But the real movie that Basquiat acted in is called Downtown 81. Have y'all heard of it?
I've heard. No. I've been meaning to watch it.
Wow. Yeah. So it's come to find out. So side little backstory here was a while ago I was just reading up on James Jebbia, the founder of Supreme. Yeah. He's only granted, say, 3 to 5 interviews throughout his entire career, but one of them was with GQ, I believe it was. No, excuse me. It must have been. He's done one with GQ, but I think this one was with Business of Fashion. But anyways, whatever the publication was, it was a really, extended, in-depth interview, and I read that the interview was conducted by this journalist named Glenn O'Brien, who passed away. And I remember I just took note of the name. I'm like, he must be, a pretty notable journalist if he's like working for this publication and interviewing this guy. And a few days after I read that, I was watching Downtown 81 with starring Jean-Michel, and come to find out, Glenn O'Brien wrote the movie. And I was like, oh shit, yeah, this dude's like been in the game. But I really like the movie. I mean, again, it can be kind of hard to like differentiate and separate like the lore from like the sheer detail, or not detail, but the sheer talent that one, kind of the talent that somebody possesses. What I'm trying to say is it can be hard to be like, oh my God, Basquiat was so good, just because of his lore, or separate like, whoa, like, regardless if he was alive, what he did, like he is actually a really interesting person. You know what I mean? And like, and I did naturally, I kind of gravitate to to the latter, where I think he was just like a really, really once in a generation, once in a decade, what have you, talent and skill set. But he was he plays himself in the movie, loosely based on himself, and then there's some like, real fantastic things that happen that I don't know could occur in real life, but it was really fucking cool. It was really cool. Oh my God. And then side note, so I guess I say I haven't been doing shit, but now that I think about it, I've like been coming upon little discoveries. But side note off of that. So in Downtown 81, right? Which y'all have to see that. Yeah. You really got to watch that one. It's fucking incredible.
We should do an episode on it.
We should. Another movie review?
That'd be dope. But so there's this little scene in there where they have like a ton of cameos, and like I guess Fab Five Freddy, I forget his exact contribution to the game, and forgive me, I think he was like a DJ and hip hop artist.
It was very early
artist, times. All that. But he was in it, and there's just this scene where they're like, like in this downtown club, and it's very like boom bap, like, my name is dun just like that style of hip hop. And actually the next day, at my job, I get to listen to like whatever I want, which is fucking great. And I've been consuming music in like the album format lately, which is something I've never done in my 30 years of life. Like
it's very interesting.
It is, and
different
you
type of
get a
experience.
whole new appreciation for the artistry and the artist.
Sequencing is a skill. Sorry to cut you off.
No, absolutely. And
Wait,
and-
so pause button.
Yeah.
So you've never listened like to an album back to front before?
like maybe, but like a Love Supreme or something. You know what I mean? Where it's
Yeah.
just like it's a
Like
given.
even when like music wasn't streaming.
I mean, I was like under 12, like before you, like when that was like post 12 years old, like I kind of had access to like the internet and shit. So like younger, maybe I like sat through some stuff. And now that I think about it, I know I did buy Speaker Box Love Below, the
Yeah.
whole thing, but I don't know
that
if I
album.
listened to
Shouts
the
out to
entirety of
Outkast.
it. But anyways, so coming off of like Downtown 81, that one really resonated with me. And just like, I remember that like real boom bap scene where they're, even the way they're dancing was so funny. But so come the next day at work, I'm like, you know what? Like, an album I've never listened to that's like fucking integral to culture, especially New York City, is Enter the 36 Chambers. So I'm like,
Whoa.
you know what?
Yeah,
let
that
me
album's fire.
let me listen to that. And also I'm coming so fresh off of like downtown New York and the 80s. And then like I listened to that. Low key, I was a little zooted too. So I was like super like keen to what I was listening to.
Yeah.
And whatever, it was after hours at work, so I was the only one in there, and like it really made me realize like, holy smokes, like what these guys were doing at that time like must have been so unprecedented, from like the delivery to the beats
The
to the
flows.
style to the flow to the like interludes to like the like comedy skits, and like dude, like it's fucking crazy. And like I'm kind of entry level to it, so like I think gravitate towards like the more kind of like rambunctious and like almost both. So like ODB to me is
ODB is the
like
best.
dude, he's just like, oh, like just like the way he delivers and shit, like somebody must have thought that was like discovering fire or something, you know what I mean? Like no pun intended. So that was just like and I allowed myself to not think about like everything that has come in the 30-40 years past, you know what I mean, but just really like put it in the frame of mind, like when this was new and this came out, like that must have fucking shattered
Blown
minds,
everybody away.
like blown everybody away.
Yeah.
And to be able to like kind of like give myself that perception, I was like, wow, like,
like your
that
first
is
time
fucking
viewing it.
interesting.
No,
And
that's-
yeah, and really listen, like I forgot what he said. I forgot enough, but like there was some shit. I think it must have been, but he's like, "Yo, I killed you in the past life." Like it's just like holy shit. Like, and I forgot like the bars. Yeah, it's like, or wait, what did he like? Come correct, like
I'm trying to remember it.
but then like it's just
but
such
I know what I know what bar you're talking.
it's just
about.
like a flash in the pan, and like it comes so quick. You're like, wait, what did he just say? Like, I killed you in a past life. Like, what the fuck? That's so like, I don't know. Like, there's just so much. I mean, like the delivery, what
There's
you're
a lot.
saying, like it's just so much. And then there was some shit ODB said where I was just like, what? Like, I couldn't even come up with that. Like sitting with the pen and paper. Like,
He's so silly,
He's
and I
always
just
got some
love
shit.
Yo, I love his bars. Like
Hot
he's so,
one,
and
hot two.
it's so unorthodox, and you
So
can tell
unorthodox,
He was just
exactly.
having the fun, like the fun of it, of like being an artist and just like being, just curating like insanity. Like I love Brooklyn Zoo from his solo stuff, and Brooklyn Zoo, and it's just like. Same thing with like even with the song with like Khalees like Money, it was just like oh ODB, but you can't see, but the fantasy should have heard me. Like the way he just did different vocal lines, and the same with Busta Rhymes. Like I make sure everything remains raw. It's just like the way that he delivered it was just like.
and I remember the lyric where like it's shit. Like I think I literally like busted out laughing, not like. Just out of like, how the fuck do you come out? Was like when he's like, gotta get up and be somebody, and then it's just like, dude, to like be like, like just so rigid and raw, and then like be like just to project your voice. It's
he
like,
has a really
how the
heavy
fuck do you do that?
R&B influence. That's
Really?
why,
Okay.
That's why he sings a lot. Have you watched the Wu-Tang series?
I haven't. I have not. Doesn't his
I-
son play him?
No, his son was supposed to, but kind of by the time it got rolling, it kind of aged out of it.
Oh, gotcha.
But no, that album just hit an anniversary too. That's my favorite Wu-Tang album.
Did it really? How old?
I don't remember.
And when? Was it like
It
October?
was
or?
94. It was this month, I believe.
Really?
I want to say this month because I just saw
Wow.
it recently, but it could have been an old post.
Dude, it was like, oh my God. But just like again, that was like an incredible
It just
experience.
has
Because like,
so much energy in it.
seriously, and it was one of those too where it was like, holy shit, these like all-time classics. I never knew that these were like just like a bit of this whole entire project, like, Cream and Protect Your Neck and all those. I was like, wow, I didn't know these were all tied into this one album. And just to experience that in like the sequence that they, created it to be, it was like, wow, that is fucking heavy.
Yeah, it's a big pressure because I feel
Bless
like
you.
I took a lot from what you were saying because it was just like,
Which part?
well, one, I'm gonna take a step back, but this is like good insights because it kind of lines up with some of the stuff. It's like that I was thinking, engaging with the art and the person separately and understanding and appreciating them both. So like I was watching an interview and it was like a funny like type of like little snippet between Drake and Lil Yachty, and it was like a cool insight. Shout out to Amalia, but she was talking to me and she was just like, this is just us. Like it's just a regular conversation. Like it's just a person to person.
Yeah.
And sometimes the allure of like the celebrity and the whole thing kind of obscures that, and then it's just like these are just regular people. Like she was like, oh, he's just a regular guy. Like
Yeah,
he
at the
has
end
a
of the
lot.
day.
He has like in his personal life it may be different, but like at his core he's still like a regular person. And the same for like all the artists. Like how many artists did we see at the gallery that were just regular people?
Yeah, just chilling.
And then when they hop on the stage, you're like, oh wow, that's a cool performance, and then afterwards they go back to regular people.
Yeah.
And the same is like the case with like the art. And I feel like with being able to like listen to like that album and the project, you're able to engage with the art, and I feel that you were able to form your own connection with something that they created and something that like lasts the test of time.
Definitely.
And it was they made something timeless by just speaking to the present.
It seriously is. Then that's very, very well said. And it was, I guess I did think about, or I didn't think about how I wasn't thinking about like how epic it is and like, their lore and then what happened to all of them individually as a group, as a whole, and just really, appreciating it for what it was. But yeah, I think, if you allow yourself to just like listen, then you can fully immerse yourself in the experience.
I think that's the artist's like biggest thing. And I feel like with just personal, just like even with the release of like the project I'm doing, it's just like at the end of the day, it's just like I want someone to just listen and just like take it for what it is. And I feel like oftentimes people get bogged down in like what is like the most marketable thing? What is like something that'll like be something so that we could like make money off of it? And it's just like I took the time out of like life and like poured like a bunch of resources and time just to make something to satiate my soul. And I feel like, and I just want to share that with people. Same thing with like the Andre 3000 album that he's releasing. He's just like, he said a quote and I posted on my story, and he said it to like NPR, and he was just like, the gauge I do is like when I like it myself, and then it feels ready to share, then I share it.
Yeah, that has to be so difficult for, I think I forgot who I asked. I think I asked a legit Drake fan and a legit Bad Bunny fan when both of them respectively had their albums come out. And same to Andre 3000, but as somebody who doesn't make music, but I guess is a casual listener, more or less, I was just thinking, I'm like, God, that has to be like kind of like a big burden to some extent. Like, oh, like, yeah, his music came out, but like it's not, for bad. But I don't know what the one with like the little heart on the beach or whatever. But that was like a fucking. I can't name one track, but I know that was a monumental album. And like, I wonder if that just like is a bit of a like hurdle for an artist. Like, like him, like he's in the studio, he's in like a quarter of the way through making this album, and is that a daunting, factor? Like, oh, fuck. I gotta fill the shoes that I did last time, and I have to make more bangers. And like, even for Drake especially, you know what I mean, where it's like he's ready at, you know, past the decade mark, and it's like, do you feel a pressure to, you know, like keep getting bigger, and if so, like how does that affect your process? And same for Andre 3000, you know, it's like, dude, you haven't made something in 17 years, so like this shit better be good. Or he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna do a flute album, you know what I mean? Like, which is cool too. And like,
I feel like that's the most artistic thing. That's why Andre 3000 inspires me so much.
He's the best.
And you mentioned Speaker Box and The Love Below. Like, for me, like, I want my project to be a response to like the story that's told on Love Below.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's that's really that's a timeless album.
I'll leave that for people that want to listen.
But all right, y'all. So I think that's about our catch up, huh?
Yeah.
Thank yous.
We're about to wrap it up. Wrap it up. The southern mode. Yeah, we're on a bit of a time crunch, but thank you to my job. I get to listen to whatever I want on a really good sound system, so that's cool.
That's fire.
That's my thank you.
What are your thank
Just one thank you. I want to thank the good people of Iceland for having me and showing me a good time. Shouts out to the lady at the convenience store who sold me the hot dog with the crunions on it. That was the first thing I ate when I landed.
That's so fire.
Yeah, it was one of the best hot dogs I ever had. By the way, that was the only thing that was open. Everything closes. But yeah, anyway, shouts out to the people in Iceland as well. I hope you're keeping safe through all the earthquakes and the potential volcanic eruption. Yeah, and shouts out to anybody who's listening.
Yeah.
Siege.
Shout out to everyone that came out to the gallery. Thank you so much. Thank you to all my friends that always like inspire me to keep on going. Thank you for Jules for giving me like a place. I'm tearing up. A place to like be myself as an artist and just like respecting my voice. And yeah, just thank you for everyone that listens.
Huge.
And thank you guys once again
for listening.
You have been a tremendous invisible audience. Until the next time. Peace.